Everyone in the property industry will tell you the same thing when you're stuck. They'll say things like go to more networking events, find a better strategy, or get a mentor and do more deals, work harder, hustle harder, be more disciplined. And so that's what most property professionals end up doing. They buy another course, they go to another event, and they push themselves harder and harder. They set better goals and write better plans and try to be more consistent. And for a while that might even work, but then something will pull them back. The same hesitation, the same procrastination, the same pattern, just showing up in a slightly different way. Does this feel familiar? And then they're left thinking there must be something wrong with them. There isn't. They're just solving the wrong problem. The real issue isn't your strategy, it isn't your deal flow, it isn't your networking, and it's not your marketing or your work ethic. The real issue is that 95% of every single decision that you make, every action that you avoid, and every opportunity that you talk yourself out of, it's being controlled by your subconscious mind. And nobody in the property world ever talks about that. So here's a way to think about it. Imagine that your mind is just like a laptop. Your conscious mind, your daily decisions, your goals, your willpower, that's the 5%, the software, the stuff that you use every single day. But the other 95%, that's the hard drive. That's everything that runs in the background, the files, the programs, whether you're aware of it or not. And most people are trying to change their results only using the 5%, while it's the 95% that is running a completely different program and telling a different story underneath. That program was written way long before you ever heard of a buy-to-let deal or sourcing or a lease option. It was shaped by everything you experienced growing up, everything you learned about money, about yourself, about success, and whether people like you get to have those things in your life. So your subconscious mind has one primary job, and it's not success, it's not growth, it's not to be an entrepreneur. It's to keep you safe and to keep you alive. And your subconscious likes to keep you in what's familiar, which is what's keeping you exactly where you are right now. So every time you try and push forward, make the offer, pick up the phone, raise your prices, and be more visible, your subconscious is just pulling you back like a piece of elastic and taking you back to what your subconscious knows because it's familiar. Now, this is not because you're weak or undisciplined or because you're not good enough. It's because your mind is doing exactly what it's meant to do. That's why it feels exhausting and frustrating, and that's why it never quite sticks, and that's why you end up being back in the same place no matter how hard you try. You don't have a strategy problem, you have a subconscious program that hasn't yet been updated. That's why I created the Mindset ReCode Method. It's the framework that I use with property professionals who are ready to start fighting their own mind and to start working with it instead and making it their friend. So the Mindset ReCode Method, it works across 5 stages: clarity, rewire, regulate, identity, and expand. So this is not a motivational tool, it's not mindset fluff. It's a precise neuroscience-backed process for identifying the exact programs that are running in your subconscious and replacing them with ones that actually match your identity for now and where you're trying to go and move to in the future. And this is why it works. So the subconscious mind doesn't respond to just willpower, just vision boards, motivational quotes, or getting up and at 5 o'clock and joining the 5 a.m. club. It responds to one thing. It responds to what it believes to be true about you and what is safe for you. And if it believes at a deep unconscious level that success is risky, money is stressful, entrepreneurialism is just not for you, and you're not quite ready, it will keep you exactly where it thinks that you belong every single time. The Mindset ReCode Method works because it goes directly to the source. So through RTT hypnotherapy, we access the subconscious mind and we find out exactly what beliefs are running the show. We don't work around them, We go straight to the root cause, and we don't try and override them either with positive thinking. We go into them, find out what they are, and we recode them. And here's what makes this different from anything else you might have tried up to now. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what is real and what you vividly imagine and tell it to be real. So when you position yourself beyond your goal as though you've already achieved it, you already know what it feels like, you're talking about it, you're already there, you are already that person, your subconscious starts to accept that as your new reality and your new identity. Most people set a goal and spend all of their time looking up at it from below. What we do instead is we place you beyond the goal and we build it out in full detail so that at a subconscious level where it actually lands and it feels and looks real from your subconscious mind. And what happens is we can collapse years down to months because the internal resistance is completely gone and your subconscious is finally pulling in the same direction as everything else. Because here's what I know to be true. After years of doing this work, you cannot consistently act like a successful property professional if you don't yet see yourself as one on the inside. So everything has to happen internally first. And when you become that person on the inside and you can see, feel it, the success flows on the outside, always, not the other way around. And this is how I rebuilt my own life multiple times over from nothing. So I was brought up on multiple council estates, alcoholic parents, and by the age of 25 I was homeless with 2 kids, single parent in a hostel. I then crazily decided to put £20,000 on credit cards to learn how to do property. I was desperate and I couldn't see another way out of this. Every single time I felt myself getting forward, I just hit a brick wall. My mum died suddenly when I was 29, and then about 10 years after that, my husband was diagnosed with cancer, and I spent the last 6 to 12 months nursing him until he died in my arms. Every single time I had to rebuild from the inside out, and now this is not because I worked harder than anyone else, it's because I started to work with my mind and not against it. And this is how, working with a property investor and a networking host, we helped him to build his property networking meeting from 30 people every month to consistently over 100 people every single month. His portfolio has grown from residential to commercial. His property portfolio has increased over that, so has the income, so have the business opportunities, and so has his dream. But we didn't change his strategy. He already knew that. He's a smart guy. We worked with his mind and we understood how his mind processes information, and we understood what his self-belief patterns were that were keeping him small and pulling him back every single time he started to gain momentum. He had an ADHD type brain that processes information in a completely different way, so we worked with it and we grew the awareness, and from awareness comes understanding. So this isn't a strategy result, it's a mindset result. He already had everything he needed. The only thing that changed was what was happening on the inside for him, the story he was telling himself. And that's what the Mindset ReCode Method does. It's how property professionals go from knowing exactly what they need to do, they have all the knowledge, but being able to make themselves do it consistently, to becoming the person who takes clear, consistent action without the constant internal battle and the struggle and the frustration. So there's less pushing, less white knuckling, less hustling, less starting and stopping, and the results then start to finally match the effort that they've been putting in all along. So if you are still watching this, then there's clearly something that has kept you here. And if you're recognizing anything of that, then that recognition really matters. You already know your mindset is part of the solution. You've probably known that for a while, but not been able to put your finger on it. The question is whether you're ready to actually do something about it. It's easier than you think. So send me a message on Instagram and tell me a little bit about where you're at right now. I work with property professionals one-on-one, and I read every single message personally and respond. So from there, we can figure out what support would actually make a difference for you. I really look forward to speaking to you.